Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the AFE factory. I thought it was time to give you another update on the Model Collect E50 Jag Tiger 2. I've done a bit more work on it since I last posted. Some things have worked out pretty well, I'm pleased with, other bits not so, so I'll talk you through what I've done so far. Pretty sure the last time I posted it wasn't sat on its wheels, so which it is now. And yeah, there's deliberately one wheel missing. I just thought it added a bit more interest that it's lost a wheel along the way. Excuse me. And the other side has got all the wheels on there. And sprocket's still to go on until I leave that until I add the tracks. So I started doing a bit of weathering, obviously the inner hull where it's going to show up, I don't think, where the wheels are already done, but I've started work on the rear. Done a bit of work to the exhausts and just that plate, so still, you know, plenty more to do there, but it's coming along. So yeah, pleased with how that's looking. Got a wobbly wheel there. Things that aren't going so well or need to be remedied. I decided before I started weathering, like with some light dust effects, I was going to give it a filter, AK filter, which I've used before in the past, and it's worked pretty well. Unfortunately with this one, and it's my fault, not the product's fault, I didn't really check to make sure that I'd you know, sort of thoroughly spread it about and it was in the quantities, in the right quantities in the areas that I wanted it. So I came back to it the next day, by which time it's dried, there's no shift in it. And it's left the sides, again, if you can, I'm going to be able to see that, but what it's done, it's just left brown marks around where the wires are, where the tow cables are on both sides. This side's even worse. So yeah, silly mistake on my behalf. You know, if you're putting something on that's slowly drying, anything that's using a thinner enamels or oils or whatever, yeah, you should go back and sort of just check on it as it's drying, that the deposits it's leaving behind are where you want them to be and in the volume or quantities that you want them to be. So yeah, I knew that, so that was me just being dumb. However, it's an easy fix. I've got the airbrush and spray booth and that set up, so I'm just going to blow over these sides and remove the sort of telltale marks, and then re-varnish it, and jobs are good, and I can then go back. As I haven't done any weathering, it's not like I'm covering up an awful lot of work. So yeah, it's quite a simple fix to sort that out. And then I'll be back on track. So yeah, all good there. Talking about back on track, the tracks are now done on the outside anyway. So that's had various colours of paint. I've been, as I said in an earlier post, I've been playing around with tracks, trying to sort of formulate a plan that I can use on every type of track to get a realistic look. I mean, that's what you want at the end of the day, and you know, I'm pretty pleased with how these have turned out. The whole vehicle is a sort of a dusty sort of summertime or industrial sort of inner city look, so the dust's quite light. So I really like these products. I respect there's other stuff out there available, but these MIG pigments, well, there you go. So this one's concrete. You do a big wide range of different ones. So yeah, I'm happy with that. The underside needs a bit of work, with a bit more of an oil wash on there, just to change that slightly, but it's nearly there. Anything else? No, that's it. So, oh, one more thing, but what I'm going to do, I shall leave that there for now, and I'll go over and hit the spray booth, and then I will come back and you can have a look, see how I've got on. The other thing that I was talking to people about, or yourselves about, was tarps. So I've used the tried and tested tissue paper and watered down PVA, and you know, it's pretty foolproof. It's easy to get good results. But I've always sort of liked the look of tarps that people have made out of milliput, and my plan was, and still is to a degree, is to have a crack and have a go at those. Obviously the biggest issue that I can see is being able to roll them out thin enough so that you get a nice scale look, and then you can put tears and what have you in them. So I am still going to try that. I bought some milliput with the intention of using it, but I saw someone had done posted on Instagram, and sorry to whoever you are, I can't remember what your name is, but he'd done some tarps which looked really good, so I asked him what he'd done, and he'd use his surgical gloves. Obviously they are very thin, you know, and they should be easy to cut up, easy to you know, put holes in or tears into them. Only issue is that I'm thinking of is getting paint to stay on there. You definitely don't want it painted and then obviously stretching it, because that's just the paint won't stretch with the glove. But I'm going to give it a go. So that's also going to go under the nozzle, and put some paint on there, and we'll see how that turns out. So I'll keep you posted with that, but first stage we'll be trying paint. So without any more chitter chatter, I'm off to the paint booth, so I'll catch you in a minute or two. Okay, so the touch-up spraying was a success. I've managed to remove or cover up the bulk of the sort of brown staining that the filter left behind, so I'm happy about that. That side's not as good, but it's good enough. Once I get as I say, it's not weathered, so once I actually get weathering, and I've got lots of bits and pieces. That's the other thing I was going to say is, you know, I've got the corrugated sheet to go on. I've got lots of different sort of planks that I'm going to put on both sides. Again, I think I said in the last video, this is really not, it's not as a form of extra added protection, it's just as camouflage really, just to break up the lines of the vehicle. So again, if it's in a more urban area, it's going to need to be broken up so it doesn't stand out so much, and again, because it's in primer, it shows up even more. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. I can get that varnished up now when that's dry, and start with the weathering. The other thing that I did, as I said, was the glove as a tarpaulin. So I've sprayed that. I used Tamiya lacquer paints, just didn't bother priming it, just sprayed grey straight onto there, both sides, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased how that looks. I think that can be manipulated, shall we say, into a good looking tarp. It does have a bit of stretch. It won't put up with a lot, obviously, the paint, but there's a little bit there. So yeah, interested to see that, I'll cut that out into a more suitable size, and then sort of rag it up a bit with cuts and tears and bits and pieces, and then start looking at places where it can go, laying it onto the vehicle, as I said, in conjunction with all the other bits and pieces that I've got going on. And so yeah, so that's where we're at for now. So the underside of the face up side of the tracks need another going over with a wash, and then we can crack on with the weathering of the visible parts of the vehicle, get the barrel on, which I'm really keen to do, because it doesn't look how it should with the barrel off, obviously. So once the barrel's on there, that'll start to look you know, really smart. And sort of keeping in the theme, this year I decided I was gonna be a what if or paper panzer year. So there's this, which is nearly finished. I've got 2 E100s. I've got the trumpeter one with Krupp turret, and I have got Amusing Hobbies one, which is the flak panzer with the twin 88s, and I have again another Amusing Hobbies kit, which is the Japanese Horai or Horai 2, which is very much a Yag Tiger looking vehicle, which is why it sort of appealed to me so much. And I've also just found out that my lovely missus has also just bought me a new model, which is winging its way here as we speak, which is this. So yeah, so again, excited to get that, and you know, which one I will do next I can't quite tell, but it very much could be the Tiger 3, which is the E75, which is coming. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there for now before this gets too long-winded and me just waffling for the sake of it. Appreciate you tuning in and having a look. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and like, and as always, any comments, ideas, suggestions you want to put in, that's fine. Look forward to hearing them. Alright, cheers for now.